The salon is very similar to the first salon my father had, which was it's called Stage Door. And I was sitting there watching this going, my God, I can't believe my dad is teaching Robert De Niro how to do hair,
right?
You know.
First of all, this is the reason I go to the movies, is to feel. I immediately called my father after this movie, and we had such a great conversation about him being my hero. Granted, I am embarrassed at times of my father, just like in the film, so I completely related, but he is my hero, and this is why I love this movie. But this isn't just a great father-son story. It's a great movie about family. Sebastian, this movie really centers around family. How does family influence your sense of humor and your approach to comedy?
So family's always been a great source of material for me. I kind of speak to what I know. My father has been this, the more I talk to my father, the more material I get. Right. I mean, every day it's something new with this guy. So for me, we have a very funny family. My mother, my sister, we all laugh when we get together. So it's not foreign to me at all to, poke fun at one another in a nice way and laugh about it. And I have to be making a living doing it. So it's great.
You do it fantastically. Mr. De Niro, you were fantastic as Salvo. And I know that you spent some time with Salvo. Can you talk to me about that experience? And did that help you get a different understanding of Sebastian a little bit?
No, I mean, I understood. Anyway, I had another impression of Salvo before I met him, and I met him, and I also he was being different with me. He's not behaving with me the way he does with Salvo, his son. But I could see that's what was interesting about meeting him. He was a regular person, regular guy that we hung out a little bit, and he came down to Oklahoma when I was shooting Killers of the Flower Moon, and it verified what I already thought, but seeing him, in that way was also interesting because it wasn't like how he was with his son. I was getting that from Sebastian. And I'd ask him questions, there's this or that, would you say this? Or how about what do you feel about the scene? Or maybe he'd have an even more specific take on it or something, or another way and stuff like that. He was great.
Sebastian, this is really a love letter to your father. And I know for you, they recreated the salon that he worked at in Mobile, Alabama. Robert De Niro's playing your father. When does that pinch me moment sink in for you in the real Salvo?
So as I was watching my father teach Bob how to dye hair with the silk, because the salon is very similar to the first salon my father had, which was it's called Stage Door. And I was sitting there watching this going, my God, I can't believe my dad is teaching Robert De Niro how to do hair,
right?
In Alabama of all places. So that was my pinch me moment on the movie where I was so happy to have my dad because, I talked to people that I lost my father when he was 50 years old. It was nice to have my father still around,
right,
and my mother still around to enjoy this experience.
And Mr. De Niro, can you talk to me about working with Sebastian to bring this story to life and what he brought to the role that wasn't necessarily on the page?
It's built in for him with his relationship with his father, and hopefully with me. We have a good rapport, and so we can work off each other, which we did, and even come up with stuff that's not in the script. And so that to me was a big plus and a reason to do it. And also Laura Terruso, she's Italian-American. Her family is, both her parents are one is from Italy, the other is second generation. So it was all good.
Yeah,
all good.
She does a tremendous job of directing this film and balances the comedy with the heartfelt family stuff tremendously.